Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Moretz Sports Complex and the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. I'm Danny Nicosia, along with Jenna Beauregard, here for the South Atlantic Conference quarterfinal matchup between the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears and the Queens Royals. And we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds with our international walkout. Jenna, what are you looking for or looking forward to in this game tonight?
Same thing as we saw in the women's game. It's something new. So obviously everybody knows we just had a weird COVID season where all of our fall sports were pushed over to the spring. So this is somebody that Lenoir-Rhyne has not seen yet this year. So it's going to be nice to see something fresh. So this is one of those situations where these teams haven't been able to play each other. So all they know about each other so far is just what they've seen from film.
Yeah, like you said, it's very strange this year with the pods. Queens and LR have not faced each other yet this year, so it's a fresh look, and I think it's going to be a good game, an interesting game to say the least, and we're going to get started here with starting lineups very shortly.
It's a beautiful, clear night here in Hickory. Not much wind. There's a little bit more during the women's game, I feel like, but feels like that's died down a bit. So sun should be setting here soon and good temperature, so should be a beautiful night for a beautiful game.
Absolutely. This is perfect soccer weather, like you said, with the sun going down. It's cooled off a little since the women's game and a little bit of a chill, but once you start running around out there, it'll feel good. Get a nice sweat going.
I'll go ahead and list off the starters for tonight's match. So going to see the usual starters that we've seen from Lenoir-Rhyne with Juan Basabe back in goal, Benjamin Gienizer in the midfield, David Zui in defense, Oliver Gardner in defense, Jaime Poza up top, Victor Cascon playing in the midfield, Noah Tiefel at forward, Danny Fernandez back at defense, Diego Delgado at the midfield, Jaime DeManuel in the midfield, and Carles Montillo Lobo in the midfield. And then for Queens, we have Tim Tretbar between the bars at goalkeeper, Boris Basara, sorry about that, Yuri Popolaski, Felipe Mendonca, Keegan Burton, Elvis Mineyesa, Louis Goldsack, Caleb Patch, David Alvarez, Manuel Dos Passos, and Henry Hurin for the Queens Royals. As we see the players doing the international walkout, and we're going to be getting started here shortly. As the lineups get introduced, some quick facts on Queens. They finished the season with a 2-4 record, finished third in their pod behind Anderson and Limestone, but ahead of Newberry. And then some key players to be on the lookout for them are Felipe Mendonca, number 9. He's a junior forward out of Salvador, Brazil. He currently leads the conference in goals with 6. He's also tied for overall points in the conference. Number 11, Elvis Mineyesa. He's speed, so he can afford to take a heavy touch because he can catch up to it. And then finally, number 10, Keegan Burton. He's a senior out of Cresswell, England, and he had 5 goals last season. He's got 2 so far this year, and he's a crafty player that'll look to get involved with the game and create some opportunities.
Yeah, I remember Keegan from when I was at Queens. He's a great player, great energy, and just like you said, very crafty, and he can score some goals for the Royals.
As the players do one last huddle up here before we're going to be getting underway.
Any bold predictions for this one, Jenna?
I'm going to say Victor Cascon goal.
I like it.
We're just going to go straight to the point.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
Victor's been super dynamic lately. We saw, in that last game against Wingate, a play that I thought was dead for sure. Victor comes out of nowhere, collects it on his left foot with just a one-touch little volley across to find the head of Noah Tiefel. That was an insane goal that, like I said, I thought that play was dead, but Victor Cascon just kept it alive.
Yeah, keeping that in from the end line. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So it looks like Lenoir-Rhyne is going to be the one that's taking this kickoff. As we see Noah standing over the ball. Danny, do you want to make a bold prediction for this game?
I'm going Jaime Poza goal.
Honestly, not a bad thing that we have two different players that we're thinking of, because it just shows how many offensive threats that we have.
Absolutely.
All right, we are underway here at Moret Sports Complex. You see Carlos connected in the middle and play a ball out to Victor Cascon, and he's going to play it back to Oliver Gardner, who's going to play it back to Juan Basabi. And this is something that Lenoir-Rhyne does a great job of. They play it well through their back. The women are the exact same way. They do a great job of passing in the back until they find something that's on.
Absolutely, and we're joined now by Adakale Ande.
Hey guys, excited for this matchup here today. Excited for this matchup here today. It should be a really exciting one between both sides. You know, not being able to play in some time, but finally able to play here on the pitch here at Moret Sports Complex. Should be really an exciting one, Jenna.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, before you stepped over here, Danny and I were talking about that. It's nice to see something new. This is a match we haven't seen so far yet this year, so definitely two teams that they know the film, but they don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah, it's a little different after not
Carlos taking a
out.
Quick strike right there.
After stepping out of your pod a little bit, different here in group play. But now it's the quarterfinals and conference championships. Anything goes. It's just a matter of who's going to lay it out on the line here today.
And I think it's super interesting. You know, we're in pod play and we're seeded off of how you finished in your pod. So although the Bears are number 2 and Queens is number 7, that doesn't always do it justice, just because it's based on the pod play and just a little different than normal years.
And that was great work in the middle there from Victor Cascon, able to backtrack. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits of having him as your captain for this team. His ability to be a lethal threat offensively as well as just backtrack is second to none here in the SAC Conference. And I mean, that's not even the only offense we have on the pitch today. There for the Royals. I believe it's number 9, Felipe Mendonca, leading the conference in goals with 6 this season. I mean, he's definitely touted for a first-team all-conference this year. It's a good switch. They're up ahead and a flick on by Tiefel.
I'm surprised he didn't grab that with his hands off the head.
So far in this match, we have really yet to see a team just remain with possession here early on.
And although he turned it over, you see that good footwork by Keegan Burton.
See Gardner sending a through ball up ahead for Cascon. Great step there by Cascon. He's looking to work. Splits one. Lays it back across. Dangerous across frame. Poza's there. Plays it back across. Tiefel! The header!
This play looks oddly familiar.
Bears are on the board first, 1-0 here in the SAC quarterfinal.
And that's what you want. You want to strike early and just take that dominating goal right there from Noah Tiefel. Again, as Danny mentioned, something we've seen before. It might look a little familiar, seeing a ball come off Noah's head and into the goal, as we're going to see the replay here. Just a ball played across.
And I think it's all started there from Cascon, working, winning that ball past the defender, getting on the end line and able to play it back across.
And Tiefel just able to get his body in front of Tretbar, head that one right in.
So, just like that, your score is Lenoir-Rhyne 1, Queens 0. Let's see how the Royals react to this and see if they have an answer. There's a quick foul there, and that'll be a Royals free kick.
Now you see Queens trying to build something out of the back on their own here.
It's a good look up top. And a bump there, but the Royals are still going to possess. And what an effort there by Gardner to head it away and stay tight on the back line. Cleats up so early in the match. It's got to be a card there from the referee. And he will bring out a yellow card.
Jaime Poza's still down. Just when you take one of the feet like that and get clipped, it's not a good feeling.
And that would be issued to Manuel Dos Passos.
Jaime looks like he's finally kind of in the last bit of shaking it off here.
Glad to see Jaime's okay and able to get up. I know he's got his family back in Spain watching this game right now, trying to cheer him on. So early on in this one, Jenna, you can hear that the BSC are active and alive in this match. Touch on just, I know this is a home match for Lenoir, and touch on how big of an advantage in the game of soccer it is to be playing in front of your home fans.
It's huge. You feed off the crowd, and obviously it's going to be even better when you're giving your crowd something to feed off of. So that goal from Noah Tiefel, ever since that happened, the Bears have been high energy. So that's just something that really just, started the fire, let the match start the fire, and the Bears are just really, you can just see the high intensity that they have right now in this game.
So right now we're just waiting to see what the Royals kind of react to. And that's a big word right there, reaction. And that's one that Coach Winter always stresses. And I think that's really an active and key word for this match. It's all about the reaction and who's able to kind of tactically get back and be able to play their game.
I agree with you 100%. And we just saw Cascon with a beautiful little volleyball right there. So far, I think the Bears are doing a good job of connecting these small passes. We've seen it here and there. I would love to see more of it, but they're connecting in the midfield. They're building. I know when you first got here, you said that the possession, nobody had really gained it either way, but it seems like the Bears are starting to come out a little bit up front in that category.
Yeah, and I would love to see a press here from the Royals to kind of put some pressure. I know you're down 1-0. Most of the times when you get down early, you might tend to sag off and kind of build that fort back onto that back line up. So I want to see some more effort from Mendonca and Keegan Burton and Miniesa for the Royals to kind of press forward and put some pressure on that back line. Maybe perhaps to squeak one and get an equalizer.
I agree, and I'm sure Queens has been watching film the same way that I'm sure our Bears have, and it's got to be tough, though, because our Bears back line has been very steady so far this season. They've been strong. They've possessed the ball well. They've played smart with when they're choosing to force a ball up, when they're not. Almost a little breakaway pass right there, though, that got intercepted, but Oliver Gardner able to collect and then send a ball up forward to Jaime. But, I see what you're saying for them to do, but it's going to be tough because our Bears back line has been solid so far this year.
Yeah, it's been a really stout back line. I mean, we can add to that, and you have the usual rotation from, Gardner and G. Nizer and Delgado and Zui, but Danny Fernandez has really stepped up in that center back role coming in. The newcomer has been excellent for the Bears.
Yeah, and you see all Louis Goldsack there just collect a throw in, and he's able to earn a free kick for his team off that. So we've had a few fouls so far this game, and I wonder if that's going to lead into the rest of the game, and it might get a little bit chippy here and there.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that haven't played each other in such a while. Almost a great through ball, but that's going to be in Juan's hands. But like I was saying, they haven't played each other in a while, but this is a rivalry matchup. I mean, Queens is just, a little down south in Charlotte. So, I mean, this is a very close rivalry. So that ball sent forward. Posa from an offside position, I would think.
It looked off, but the ref, I don't know if he was just kind of straggling behind there, did not call it. Unfortunately, Posa not able to collect that and then get a shot off on goal, but maybe that's karma for being offsides. Who knows? But huge ball over the top there from.
Great touch by Cascon. He's going to try his luck. Why not? So that's airmails wide right.
Yeah, you gotta get your body over that, get your knee over the ball so that it's way more of a line drive than a field goal type kick. He's trying to pull a Chase elbow out there.
Yeah, he's, like you said, gotta technically sound. You gotta get over it, your hips over that ball, so you can drive it. Tim Tretbar send that one deep. Now let's see if we, as you see a miscommunication there on the far sideline. As I was about to say, let's see if we can get some sense of urgency from this Royals team. This is a team that played Limestone very close, lost 4-3 in overtime, and then 1-0. So, and Limestone, a very good soccer program, now joining the SAC conference this year. But I want to see this Royals team really put a statement in and try to bounce back in this one. I know you're only down 1-0, but if you're able to get an equalizer, it's a completely different game.
Right. So that was an early goal from Lenoir-Rhyne. There's still a lot of soccer left to go. Mm-hmm. So you can definitely still get an equalizer at this point. It's just Queens needs to connect some passes. They haven't been able to yet, but we're only 10 minutes in. This is still kind of where your legs are just now getting under you in a soccer match. It just so happens that Lenoir-Rhyne was able to take advantage of one.
And Queens has got some taller players on that back line. I'm just looking at Henry Herron standing at 6'4". I mean, might be able to mistake him for a baby giraffe out there on the pitch. I mean, he is a tall defender on that back line. And that's huge, especially if you're a defender and you're able to have some height behind you, you're able to win so many things in the air.
Right, especially when he's going up against a player like Posamora, who's a little bit shorter than him. We'll say a little bit, but it's about a foot shorter. It's definitely not a foot, but 8 inch, so definitely quite impactful difference. That's going to be where Lenoir-Rhyne's going to want to look to find through passes and balls on the ground rather than playing the ball in the air.
So ball played out wide. This might be able to keep it in play, and that's just tough there in that far corner. I believe that was Elvis Muniesa.
So we're going to see a Lenoir-Rhyne throw in here. Ball bounced around a bit. Oliver Gardner finally able to clear it out. Able to find Jaime's feet, who looks like he was trying to play the through ball for Victor Cascon, but Queen's able to break that up. And it looks like Lenoir-Rhyne's not going to add a ton of high pressure to this back line today, so they're going to allow Queens to play out of the back, and the pressure gets turned on once that ball gets played out of the back. As Queens begins to build something.
That was a very good look, an open look there for the Royals. It was like good combination passes.
Yeah, so we saw Yuri Popolowski there just carry the ball, have a little slice and a dice in the middle, and able to get a shot off with the right foot too, but Juan Basabe easily collects it. Unfortunately for Popolowski there, he hit it right to our keeper.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Popolowski get under it just a little bit more. I think he wanted a driven shot, but I think he didn't get all of it.
Yeah, definitely didn't get all of it, as we see Cascon collect the ball here in midfield with space.
Yeah, D'Emanuel needs to turn here, look upfield. G. Niser's making his run. Good play out wide. G. Niser back into the fray. Posa the header, and that will just go high and wide.
Very, very pretty build up there, though, and a great run in the box. Just unfortunately, ball landed more on the top of the noggin than it did on the forehead where you want that ball to fall. But a beautiful build up from the Bears.
Testing Treadbar back in goal there are the Bears. Poza is itching for that first goal here on the season. He's second in the conference in assists, but looking to, open up the year with that first goal. And that's a strong win on the challenge there by Fernandez. And that's a pretty ball. Tiefel will be able to get onto it. 1v1 with the keeper. Fires and gets another one. Tiefel, talk to me.
And that's a great job by Noah, because for a second there it looked like he just put himself in an awkward position where he kind of narrowed down his angle big time, as we're going to see that replay.
Talk about that, Pat. I mean, Zui with vision for days.
Yeah, and then Tiefel just speed. Just able to get around. And again, you saw that heavy touch where I thought, oh, buddy, you just took one that was too heavy and you just eliminated your angle, but still able to find that far side right netting. And Tiefel's got two on the day just like that.
And I'm not even going to blame Trepar. Trepar took the space correctly. That's the right form for a keeper. You come off and try to limit the space as much as you can, cut off the angle. If I'm Trepar, I'm going to be livid there with my back line for not running on that ball.
Right. It's like I said, great vision to play that ball over the top, and then Tiefel he had the speed, he had the advantage, he took advantage of it, and now the Bears are up 2-0. So I wonder if that's going to adjust how Queens is playing, because now they've got to be more aggressive. You're down 2 goals, and there is a shot right there, but you're down 2 goals. It's not even 15 minutes into the game. How are you going to answer?
Yeah, if Queens does not change a gear here, it will be a long night for them. They need to be able to react to what just happened here and get something going in the right direction for the Royals. And I know that's what head coach Oliver Correa is probably audibly yelling is Poza 1v1 with Trepar now. And he finds the back of the net for his first goal of the season. Make that 3-0 Lenoir-Rhyne.
You were just saying it. He's got a few assists on the season. You were saying he's craving a goal of his own, and just like that, he finds the back of the net. Just a quick little touch of a slot pass into the back corner there, and that's pretty.
And I know, having been a keeper before in life, I know Trepar has got to just be just a little frustrated.
Yeah, because, again, he's doing his job. He's making the angle real small, and that's just well done by Lenoir-Rhyne to place that ball exactly where it needs to go. It seems like it'd be so easy, but trust me, when you're out there on the field, even when you're 1v keeper like that, it's not as easy as it looks, and Lenoir-Rhyne's just doing a great job of placement with his final touches right here.
So now, Jenna, how would you go about playing this now if you're the Royals? You can't park the bus here because you still have to be aggressive. There's still 30 minutes left here in this first half, and you want to be able to at least put one up on here before halftime.
Yeah, Queens, if I were Queens, I'd be pushing players up, but that's also a scary thought right now because of how offensively well Lenoir-Rhyne is playing. So, yes, you want to push numbers up, but Lenoir-Rhyne is knocking on the door just continuously. Look as Cascon collects it at the top of the 18. And
just a maestro, Cascon, putting the ball on a rope past defenders. And this is a promising spot here for Lenoir-Rhyne, a free kick. A little bit past the 18, I'd say about 30 meters out, I would say. Really close there. And that's a good shot to put on frame.
Right. We'll see how Queens sets it up. Looks like they have a 4-man wall as they look back to their goalkeeper, Trepar, to see how he wants to maneuver this. But I think Cascon should drive it low. Instead, he's going to look for the top left post, and he's going to hit the post. But, wow, beautiful, beautiful shot by Cascon. And, again, just keep on knocking. That's what the Bears are doing right now. There are so many offensive threats that Queens has got to figure something out, or this game is just going to continue to go downhill for them.
That was great technique right there on the free kick by Cascon, just picking off the crossbar. And if you're Trepar, I know you're thanking that old lucky crossbar, because that could have been 4-0.
As Oliver Gardner smartly heads it back to the keeper. So when you head it back to the keeper like that, the keeper is able to pick up the ball versus if it comes off another part of your body, the keeper would not be able to. So good heads-up play by Oliver Gardner as Juan Basabe looks to switch it through the back.
There's good service there by Juan. Now the Bears are looking to counterattack, form a little attack. And they're being highly pressed, and that's what we've been wanting to see here from the Royals. Bears still with possession. Cascone now onside. Fires another one. 4-0 Lenoir-Rhyne. Cascone coming in like a firefly at night, shining bright here for the Bears.
Yeah, Cascone did a great job of just holding directly with those last two defenders there for Queens. Beautiful, beautiful slot ball through, and he's able to just run onto it and then beat the goalkeeper. As you see that replay here, and just finds the back of the net there. And a beauty from Victor Cascone.
4-0 Lenoir-Rhyne. If you're just tuning in, well, you've missed a lot here in this opening 17 minutes. 4 goals for Lenoir-Rhyne over the Queens Royals. This is the SAC quarterfinal. Again, you're watching this on Bear Sports Network presented by NBA Roofing.
And just look at the amount of energy that Lenoir-Rhyne has. But how can you not have energy after 4 beautiful goals like that?
And Cascone running back on frame. He's hungry for more.
G. Nizer should be able to get to this one. Oh, just a little too heavy. But, I mean, Bears, even after 4 goals, pedal to the metal, they're still looking to create.
I was just about to say that they don't look tired. It's been effortless so far. I mean, obviously it's only been, about 18 minutes here in this first half, but even after 4 goals, they're still hungry for more, and that's got to say something to you if you're Coach Winter.
Yeah, there's no reason to slow down right now. There's 27 minutes left in this half. There's a whole nother half of soccer. That one is going to be called offsides right there. David Zui looking to score his first goal tonight, just a little bit offsides. But again, why would you stop? You have 4 goals. There's plenty of wiggle room if some kind of counterattack breakdown does happen. Let's say Lenoir-Rhyne does win this game. You want to go in with as much momentum as you possibly can. So why not have a blowout game if you can get to that point going into the next one?
Exactly. That's a great point, Jenna. You see, now we're going to get possibly the true possession here from the Royals. Let's see what they can do here. I'm really looking to see Mendoza really take over for this Royals team. I mean, when you're leading the conference in goals, that it's for a reason.
So far, we haven't seen too many opportunities for the Queens Royals, but they are looking to push the ball forward into Lenoir-Rhyne's defensive third here. So we see some nice work over there.
I believe that's Minayesa.
And when I was talking to Jack Winter earlier today to give me, a few notes who are the players to watch, that was one of the players that he mentioned.
Yeah, he looks like he's a very crafty player on the outside, that wing wizard position, the outside wing, trying to work down the line. And he just needs to get more in the fray, and it's tough to say. It's up here, and it's easier to do on the field, that especially when Lenoir-Rhyne's back line has just been absolutely relentless in this one.
Yeah, it's been the same solid 4 guys all year long, and they're clearly been doing their job so far tonight, and offense is doing their job. So as Queens, just from a sports psychology standpoint, it's super hard to even try and get anything positive going in your mind when you're down 4-0 this early in such a big match.
And I know if you're the Royals coming in and you're Coach Carrillo, this is not the game plan coming into this one. You want to make it as close as possible and then strike when your opportunity has presented itself. But it just have not been any opportunities so far for this Royals team, except maybe that one there. But earlier, by Poplawski. That was probably so far the one true look there from the Royals.
And, sports are a crazy thing. Like, we've seen the Patriots come back 28-3. Like, we've seen these crazy comebacks. So, the game's not over. There's still time. Queens could still somehow pull something together. So, they just need to keep their heads in it as best they can and keep on fighting. Like you said, if maybe, who knows, maybe Felipe will get involved or somebody else. So, it's not over until that final whistle blows.
Whew. Dropping a dime in the bucket, Delgado. And Zui laid it across there on the 6. G. Nizer looking to keep it in bounds, and they'll be awarded a throw-in. So Lenoir-Rhyne looking to attack and add to their lead.
Yeah, that was a beautiful touch from Zui there. That's one of those ones that you just feel like you were on when you just have a touch like that and the ball just lands right at your feet. And it was a great ball across, too. Good look. Tiefel was in the area for that one, just not able to get a touch on it. And it looks like we're going to have a Lenoir-Rhyne corner kick here.
So a corner kick here for LR. And, I mean, talk about a beautiful night under the lights here at Moret Sports Complex here in Hickory, North Carolina. It's been a pretty day. So much better than last week's games.
Yeah.
So that ball is played up. A header by
Delgado. They're going to say it's out, unfortunately. But, yeah, just couldn't ask for a better night for soccer. It's that kind of temperature where it's not too hot, but it's not too cold. Clear night. Air feels good.
And I know, a lot of the international players on both sides, I'm sure, are happy to have warmer weather. I mean, talking to Jaime Emmanuel, it was, I think, about 2 weeks ago, he was complaining it was 65. So
yeah, then I'm sure he didn't feel too good the other night when it was 37.
Exactly. So I'm sure a lot of these players are really glad to have some playable weather, and just a pretty night to play some soccer here on the pitch.
Yeah, this COVID year has been a weird one where we've played in reverse. And normally we start out hot and go cold, but now we're starting cold and finally warming up here.
Some great combination passes.
Yeah, that's going to be a Queens throw-in, but that was a really good touch by Jaime there just to control that down. And we're going to have our first sub of the night, it looks like. As the Queens Royals, we're going to see number 21.
That's Alvarez checking off here for the Royals.
I think it's number 14 that I see checking on. I believe that's Joe Lilly. It looks like he's going to come in at that right winger position over here.
Lilly, midfielder, 5'11", freshman here from Newcastle, England. So maybe just to bring on some fresh legs and give a new approach here for the Royals.
It's one of those things where when you're down 4-0, you're kind of willing to try anything and everything and bring on some new players. The referee's going to let that one play on.
Maybe referee kind of assuming maybe Zui may have fell down a little too easily. But nevertheless, it will be a goal kick here for the Royals. And that's always a tough call, especially when you see a player do an outside touch like that and they're trying to get back to the ball. Is it playable? Can they retrieve it, especially if it's a heavy touch like that? It's the Royals looking to put together an offensive counter-strike here.
I'd love to see Queens connect a few passes and build something, but Lenoir-Rhyne just breaking apart anything, and you see Carles there just smartly playing it back to let his players regroup, and there's a big switch out here to David Zui.
Delgado has been money all night here tonight, and that's another sign why he's been picking his spots at will.
And that's something we didn't get to see a lot of in the last game that we saw with the Wingate game because of the wind. So it's nice to see those pretty big switch balls tonight.
Smart there by Cascon to bring it back across and just work it around. There's no sense of rushing here from Lenoir-Rhyne. When you have a lead like this, you're just going to continue to play your game.
If the lead does stay like this moving to the second half, I'd love to see Jack Winter give some players that don't normally see a lot of minutes some playing time so that he can just continue to test the depth of his bench and give those players some opportunity to get involved in the game. And there's a huge strike.
Wow. Earth? That was an absolute rocket there from the Royals.
All I can say is, wow, that just happened so quickly. It looks like the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears just didn't even see that coming the same way that we did. Honestly, it happened so quickly. I'm still waiting for the announcers to call out who scored that goal. But just a zinger to the back post.
And I'm talking about a silencer. We did not know what to expect of there. I mean, and why not? No wind. If you've got that in your bag, why not go for it?
And this is where Lenoir-Rhyne, a 4-0 lead that they had was great, but now it's 4-1. Queens is going to get a little momentum going for them. And again, that was just a zinger of a goal. There's no other way to describe it. Just an absolute bullet to the back post there, just sailing over Juan's head.
Yeah, you're not stopping that. That's just technically sound and just extremely powerful.
I mean, it looked like it was Caleb Patch scored that goal. But, I mean, he just seemed to collect the ball there. Saw that he had space. Lenoir-Rhyne wasn't pressuring him maybe the way that they should have. Looked a little bit flat-footed. And he said, okay, I'll take this. And then he did. And just like that, a game that we thought was going to be fully dominated, Queens is finding themselves a little bit back in it.
See, Caleb Pash, number 15, 5'11", junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, Page High School. Shout out to the 336, a rival high school of mine. What a strike there from Pash.
And we see Queens having a little bit of momentum there. Lenoir-Rhyne able to take it away, but after that goal, it seems like Queens already has played a little bit better since that strike.
And the key here is reaction. See, the Royals scored one, got one on the board. Now how will Lenoir-Rhyne react, and will the Royals continue to play with this sense of urgency and momentum?
Because, I mean, if you're Lenoir-Rhyne, you're up 4-0. Let's be honest here. You get a little comfortable.
And it's okay to be comfortable, but it's not a good thing to be complacent.
And it seemed to get a little complacent there for a second, which, I mean, it's going to happen when you have a 4-0 lead with 25 minutes left to play in the first half. So when Lenoir-Rhyne kind of, sat back a little bit, we got this, we're cruising, Queens was able to put one away on a big strike. As the Royals connect a few passes here and look to play the ball up. We see Tyler 10 collecting over here on the right-hand side.
And he's looking for it. That's a great hesitation there. Bears maybe looking to run. Great defense there by Andre Castro.
So we see David Zui jog over and get ready to take this throw in. He's going to find the chest of Victor Cascon, who's going to collect it and play it back to Oliver Gardner.
And if I'm Gardner, I got to be careful. You know that press is always going to be on here.
Especially right now, the Queens has got to have that press on. You're down 3 goals in a game that's if you don't win, you're done. You have to have that press on.
And that's a great ball. Now playing it across the 18. Poza is there. Carles will try his luck. Why not?
I'm not mad that he struck that at all.
Sails it over the crossbar.
Right, like we said with Cascon earlier, you got to get your body over the ball.
And Caleb Pash started it, knocking one from well outside the 18. It's going to be one of those days where when you see something like that, you might feel like you're able to do it also.
Honestly, Queens is going to need to pull something like that out again here. And it was great for them that they were able to strike back with one of their own, but they're still down 3 goals. You still have some makeup work to be doing. as Danny Fernandez looks to send one over the top, and I don't think he was on the same wavelength as any of his forwards there.
So, as we approach 16 minutes left to play here in the first half, you're just tuning in. You're watching Lenoir-Rhyne men's soccer, but this is the SAC quarterfinal as they play the Queens Royals. It's a 4-1 match. Lenoir-Rhyne scoring 4 goals early here in the first 17 minutes of play, and now the Royals have just answered here in the last 5 minutes. And they're looking to put more on the board and bring this back to a closer margin here going towards halftime. And there's that press that you spoke of, Jenna.
And that's what's got to be on right now. It's got to be high pressure, trying to pick something off from that Lenoir-Rhyne defense and, surprise Juan with another one back there. I don't think Juan saw that first goal coming at all.
Shoot, we didn't even see it.
It's not that he was flat-footed, but he was flat-footed.
Yeah, we didn't even see it from up here as we're just awaiting confirmation of who actually hit that. It happened so quickly.
Lenoir-Rhyne looks to build something of their own, and again, Delgado with that big switch over here to Zui. Let's see how his first touch is.
Oh,
what a beauty.
Just magnificent, and like I said, Delgado has been dropping dimes here now. He's been picking out anyone he wants and just working that switch. If you want, just take your time. Don't have to do anything and pick out your spot, and that's a great ball if Tiefel can find it.
Queen's able to come away with that and connecting a few passes of their own through the middle.
Just working it around. And that's what I want to see. I want to see this Royals team really open up this pitch. They've really worked it down this near sideline in this match so far.
Yeah, I think we saw a few times where Elvis Mineyasa over there, and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, but we saw a few times where he would take it over there on the left sideline, but for the most part they've been working this right sideline. They're not switching the field up too much, so kind of making it predictable for Lenoir-Rhyne.
So a free kick here for the Royals, and not necessarily one to shoot directly here on this free kick, but you can lay a pretty ball maybe around the 18 or that penalty marker with numbers here for the Royals.
So Queens is going to want to make sure that they're staying onside as Lenoir-Rhyne sets a firm line back there, and it looks like they will. And I thought Queens won the initial ball there, but I think it may have obviously hit off of a Lenoir-Rhyne player last, and it looks like it's going to be a Royals corner kick.
That was a great ball in there by Keegan Burton there for the Royals. And he will take the responsibilities of playing a service back into the box now off the corner.
And again, wind is not a factor tonight. The air is just super still right now, so if he can float one in just right around the top of the 6, looks like there's a few Queens players that have a little bit of height over the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, and he is going to float it right around the 6, but Noah Tiefel able to collect it to the back 6, loses it.
Good marking there, 1v1.
It's number 17, Andre Castro, just doing a little bit of work over there on the right-hand sideline, but...
And Cascon, heads up defense there. I mean, he was working in that corner.
Yeah, Cascon, great defense just to shield the ball, putting his body between the player and the ball, and then Castro eventually got a little bit frustrated, and we saw him kind of give Cascon a little shove in the back there.
Just a little men's soccer score update here. The Limestone Wingate game is 1-1 heading into the second half, and then Anderson is up 6-0 over the Mars Hill Lions going towards the second half, and then Carson Newman up 2-0 over LMU.
David Zui working hard over there on that left sideline. Oliver Gardner able to send the ball up towards Noah Tiefel.
Look at G. Nizer. I mean, he was absolutely moving there for the Bears.
Yeah, G. Nizer's doing a great job of making that run down the line. And, Danny and I mentioned a little bit during the girls' game, when you make that run, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the ball. But even when you're making that run, you're opening up an opportunity for somebody else. Love that G. Nizer did get the ball there, and he's gotten the ball the few times he's made that run tonight. But good on him just to keep working and keep on drawing that defender outside. As it looks like we're going to see a few substitutions here.
I think Sirkish is checking in for Lenoir-Rhyne, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like Jaime is going to be the one that's going off there. Jaime Poza is going to be taking a little bit of a breather for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
I believe Yuri Poplawski re-entered as well for the Royals.
As Lenoir-Rhyne gets a throw in deep into the Queens defending third here.
Some women's soccer updates for you. Wingate and Catawba. Wingate they're up 1-0, over Catawba here, going towards the second half. As LR working it still in that corner. Queens is up 1-0 here over Tusculum, heading towards the second half, and then Limestone is up 2-1, and that is the final. They won in overtime over LMU.
Little interesting fact about that first game. If Wingate is able to pull out that win over Catawba, your women Bears would be back at home on Thursday night. Same thing for the current game that we're watching. If your Lenoir-Rhyne men's Bears are able to pull out this win, they will also be back home on Thursday evening.
So a lot here at stake for both sides, still wanting to be able to play home soccer here in Moret Sports Complex. But the Royals will have something to say about that, as there's a little over 9 minutes remaining here in this first half. They're looking to possibly put one more up, maybe get some momentum here into halftime, and then just keep that energy that you ended the half and move it in towards the second half.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, as a coach, what do you say to your team that's down potentially 3 goals here with 45 minutes left to play? And all you can say is, if you get any type of chance, take it. Like, even if it's, like we saw earlier, a 30-yard shot, take it. Because if you lose this, your season's done. So you don't have any opportunity but to strike, and strike some more.
Exactly. You're laying it all on the line here. You're literally playing for everything. And I mean, as you know, it's only the championships, the NCAA championships for the fall sports, not going on this spring. So I mean, this is just honestly, it's for Pride 1 and 2 bragging rights as well, heading into the fall season. So ball played up ahead. This is a dangerous one here for the Royals. They're looking to attack.
And that is played into Felipe, who's that player that we discussed earlier. That is the leading goal scorer in this conference. So that's the player that Queens, I'm sure that they would love to get him involved some more.
See Dan Manuel able to dispossess Mandonka there for the Royals. And now the Royals will look to work it back through their back line.
We see Darren Abbey. It's going to find Tyler 10 over here on the right-hand side.
Good step by Gardner, but may give up an opportunity here. And strong presence by Delgado as Mandonka was looking for a run back post for a header.
This is nice to see from Queens. They're building a bit more here. Obviously, if you're Lenoir-Rhyne, you'd want to shut that down. But if you're Queens, this is the momentum that you want to get going. This is the most momentum I feel like we've seen from them this evening. Even with the goal that they scored, I wouldn't say there was a lot of momentum for that. It was just kind of a sudden strike. So it's nice to see Queens getting involved in the attack and connecting some pieces here.
See the referee talking to a couple players. Probably telling them to keep level heads.
Juan with a huge ball forward.
Oh. Cuts it back, left foot, another one. Victor Cascon, 5-1 Lenoir-Rhyne, and talk about a move, 1v1, getting back to the left boot, and now he's at the top of the conference in goals.
Let's also talk about, that was an assist from the goalkeeper? I mean, you would think that Queens would realize that that's where they're struggling right now, because that's where a lot of those goals have come from tonight. It's just balls over the top, but Queens just not doing anything to fix it. And, we saw that Queens was starting to maybe build a little momentum there, but Juan Basabi just with a huge ball over the top, and Cascon able to run it down, cut it back to his left foot, and find the back of the net.
Which is crazy to think, because when he played on that side in their last game, that ball would have sat right at the midfield line.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just shows you how much of an effect wind and weather has on the ball and some of your deliveries. And as we've seen here tonight, Lenoir-Rhyne has been able to pick their spots and go wherever they want.
Oh, it's huge. And you see Lenoir-Rhyne with a 4-goal lead right now, but they're still going to be pedal to the metal, and they're going to keep looking to score. There's no reason for them to let up now.
And we've seen that before. 4-goal lead led to one by Pash, putting one on the board. So, and I mean, if you're the Royals here, you can't keep playing this, let's let Lenoir-Rhyne score one and then we'll score one kind of thing. At this point, you've got to go on a run.
Right. And Tyler Tin is looking to do that as he carries and finds Castro over here on the right-hand side. Castro attempts to play one across, but just not able to swing his hips around that at all, and it's going to go out for a Lenoir-Rhyne goal kick as we see another substitution.
I believe that is Sam Sawyer checking in the match here for Lenoir-Rhyne, number 18, a freshman. And that's what you pointed out, Jenna, in this one. If Lenoir-Rhyne was able to keep this big lead, will Coach Winter empty out his bench and kind of test his depth?
Why would you not? It's the perfect opportunity to. Even, if a player plays in a game tonight, you're still not going to get charged this season. All these fall competitors are going to get their season back. So it's just a good opportunity for these younger players to get some minutes and to get their legs underneath them as they advance to this college level.
So that is a hefty challenge there by Sir Kish, and not going to argue there with the referee. That's kind of laid a little hip into him as you were trying to win the ball. So as we approach 5 minutes left here in this first half, Lenoir-Rhyne is up 5-1 here in the SAC quarterfinals over the Queens Royals.
And I know you guys can't see the full picture, obviously. You can't see the full field in your screen, but Lenoir-Rhyne, just as a unit, it looks like they're shifting really, really well. So they're seeing where the ball is going, and every single player is then transitioning to the spot that they should be in. So that's just another good thing if you're a Bears fan to see, is that you have a team that's composed and working very, very well together.
And it's one well-oiled unit here for Lenoir-Rhyne in this first half. And I'm a big guy into, second half adjustments. I loved a coach that was going to light a fire under me and, kind of get my team rolling and me going personally. What do you think Coach Correa is here for the Royals is going to go and say to his team during halftime as we approach 4 minutes left to play in the first half?
He's going to say, rough first half. We need to do better. And honestly, I think game plan-wise is I see Queens playing ugly soccer. It's not going to probably be pretty, but they're probably going to play every single ball that they get forward. I also think that they're going to put another number up top because you have to. And I think that Jack Winter is going to probably match that, and we might see a different lineup from the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears in the second half, because it's going to be one of those games where Queens is going to be looking to score, obviously, and Lenoir-Rhyne's just wanting to get a win out of this.
Good touch there by Cascal.
It's a tough question, though. I don't know what you say as a coach when you're 4 goals down. It's tough because you also have to try and contain your emotions because you're obviously the leader of that team. It's a tough job to have.
Yeah, definitely a tough job, but I think if your coach Correa is, like you said, you got to know your personnel, and I'm sure he does. So you got to know who can take, lighting a fire under someone, or who might just need, hey, we need to be better, like a soothe talking. So we'll see what kind of adjustment the Royals bring here in towards the second half, but we still have 2:40 remaining here in this first half, and enough time to see the Royals try to put more on the board here and get some momentum before halftime.
Yeah, and Coach Correa has been with this Queens program since 2011, so he's very familiar with this team. He's got experience, so we'll see what he says as Lenoir-Rhyne again looks to attack.
Demaniel fires.
Again, not mad that we're taking these shots, but
Gotta get over the ball.
Coach Winter, next practice, I think that you need to do some long shots and remind your players that they gotta get over the ball, like Audie said.
Yeah, they gotta get over the ball, and that little just sitting back a little too much on it, and that's why it's sailing like that.
But yeah, Coach Winter, I meant that. Really, you should do some shooting drills.
But not everyone can have the screamer that Caleb Pash had in this match, and I mean, once again, if you haven't been able to see that, you need to go and check at Bear Sports on Twitter to see that goal again, because that was an absolute screamer there from number 15 of the Royals.
100%. You got to give credit where credit is due, and that was absolutely beautiful.
The switch is on. A through ball played in. Carles is there to stop it.
Oh, yeah, he's trying to say it was his shoulder, but it looks like the ball took a little bit of a bounce that maybe Carlos wasn't expecting, and it does look like it got that upper bit of arm there.
So a dangerous spot here for the Royals, and looks like that's Keegan Burton here to take the free kick. The captain there for the Royals.
And it looks like Juan's going to set up 3 bodies in his wall as...
Maybe 4.
Yeah, it looks like...
Yeah, and if I'm Burton, I'm going to try to put something here in the right corner if I can. And Burton fires.
And he does find that right side, just like you said. But Juan on his toes and able to sail across the goal and make a great save there.
Cheeky move there by Carles. And Samson just a little giddy to get the ball, kind of stepping in that passing lane of Cascal.
I almost wish he wouldn't have touched that ball right there because Cascal was there. But again, he's a younger player, so those are things you'll learn as you go through. But he's probably fired up. His team's winning 5-1. This is a big game for him to get some minutes in. So little things like that happen. We have just 14 seconds left to play. It's like this may essentially just run the clock out here.
And 2 seconds left, and that will be the first half, folks. Your score is Lenoir-Rhyne 5, the Queens Royals 1, and we'll be back here with a little breather as we give you first half analysis and second half action here on Bear Sports Network.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
It's Nick
and Greer with Paramount Automotive in Hickory.
We're located right on Highway 70 in Hickory with 6 new car franchises.
And a great selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Come see us for a fast, fun car buying experience.
Paramount Automotive Hickory, ParamountAuto.com.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found an expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Broken windshield, take one.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, Jack.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without
As we are back here at Moret Sports Complex. Once again, you're watching the SAC quarterfinal here between the visiting Queens Royals and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. I'm Adekale Ande, joined by Jenna Beauregard here in this one. If you missed that first half, or even the first 17 minutes of this match, you missed a lot of action. 5-1 is your score here at the half.
Yeah, Lenoir-Rhyne struck very, very quickly. I think that first goal for them came in the 41st minute is what I want to say, but a beautiful header by Noah Tiefel, and then, after that, we just saw a few more string of goals from the Bears. Queens able to answer with one of their own, just an absolute bullet to the back of the net from Caleb Patch. But other than that, it's just been all Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, that was one of the best solo efforts on a shot I've seen all year from any team. Patch just getting his laces behind and getting over the ball and just finding the top right bins. And as we're approaching the second half action, like we said, in this one we really want to see what Coach Korea's squad here in the Royals have in him. And I think this is a big character building moment for this team. What kind of passion do you have left? What kind of fight do you still have in you to kind of put some more goals obviously up on the board, but also just leave a better taste in your mouth?
Yeah, I'm still fully believing that we're going to see a lot of just balls that are just played over the top from Queens, because it's kind of the only option they have left is to just try and get that ball into the attacking third as much as they can. And sorry about that. As a reminder, the winner of this game will face the winner of Anderson-Mars Hill on Thursday evening. So if Lenoir-Rhyne is able to come away with this win, it's looking like we will see Anderson, who has a dominant lead over Mars Hill. So that will be our game Thursday night if everything stays as is.
So we're just waiting to see who will edge out here in this one. And Royals going to start with possession. And so far I'm seeing a little bit more active and a bigger sense of urgency here from the Royals. They're getting first to the ball. They're looking to attack and put another one up on the board.
And that first long ball that we just saw from number 10, Keegan Burton, I think that we're going to see some more of that during this second half, as I mentioned earlier, from Queens, as they have to look to go big.
And Burton, listed as a midfielder, is playing on that back line, maybe because he's a captain. Coach Korea just trusts him to kind of help out back there, which they've struggled there, especially in that center back role. But as Jenna said, they're going to have to push numbers up eventually.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I see currently it looks like they have 3 forwards, but looks like number 12 seems to be, so that's Louis Goldsack, seems to be, falling back a good bit. I'm surprised they don't have higher pressure up top. If this was me in this situation, I would just be playing ball over ball over ball over the top, even if it's not very pretty, but trying to create any opportunity that you can, hoping that one will sneak past that back line.
That was a great step there by Tim Giersifer there for the Royals.
Looked like Felipe almost had a chance to come away with that ball, and that's, again, that player that Coach Winter said to be on the lookout for, and why would you not be on the lookout for him when he leads the conference in goals coming into this match?
Good pressure, and you see active early. This Kish and Tiefel working. And Smart just play it back to Juan. Take his time and send one forward. And Wade, and naturally gifted, naturally favoring lefty keeper. Something that's rare in the game of soccer, watching a lefty keeper. Left-footed keeper, excuse me. And Burton almost thought about one from deep.
I feel like he almost should have. That's similar to where we saw the first goal.
Bouncing around near the 18. The Royals will play it back. Trying to give a give and go. And good, just resistant pressure there from the Bears. Just so resilient.
So far, Queens has done a much better job of possessing this half, and I think a big part of that is probably because Jack Winter is setting his players up more defensively, because again, you have a 4-goal lead. What you care about is a win in this situation. You're not in a position where it's goal differential matters, yada 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 matters. It only matters if you win the game.
Exactly. You said they're laying it all on the line here today. It's win or go home. I know both sides don't want to go home here today.
Tyler 10 taking a big look up and a big switch.
Yes. Good job by Sawyer to step in the fray. Needs some help. Takes a touch outside. And great job by the freshman to stay calm with composure as he moved up the field.
We see Benjamin Genizer look upfield to take this throw in, and a little bit of bouncing around in the midfield. Felipe is able to come up with possession. He's going to play it back out to Tyler 10 over on that right-hand side.
The Royals have been able to build a little bit more passes here in this one and kind of keep possession as they're working down the field. Like a dispossessed. There's Poza in the fray.
Ooh. Gardner able to get away with the heavy touch.
Ooh, that's a high boot. Coming in the challenge there was Darren Abbey. And you can see the way that this Royals team is moving. They've really shifted up higher. You can see there's a lot more players there in the attacking third. Sawyer battling. Just got to put a body on if you're Sawyer. Can't lunge too much. Don't want to give up a foul.
And then vice versa for the Bears. We don't see those forwards taking any high pressure, so they're laying off that back line, which is opposite from what we saw in the first half. But again, they're concerned about playing defensively this game.
Ball played in, and it's handled easily there by Kish. And now Tiefel, some room to run. Poza, smart decision. Don't have to force anything. Sawyer. I believe Sawyer will win the throw in there for LR. Genizer just going to take his time and pick his spot, find where he needs to throw it into.
Our referee kind of tells him, all right, let's get this ball in play. He's going to find the feet of Noah Tiefel. Bounces back to Sam Sawyer. Genizer collects again. It's going to be another Lenoir-Rhyne throw in, and Genizer's going about the same pace he was for the last one.
And it's one of those things where you're just kind of trying to take as much clock as possible. At the same time, you got to respect the other team and put it in play. Don't want it to get too chippy where a Royals player might get frustrated by the...
It's one of the few sports where you don't have a clock that you have to get a playoff in, so it's part of the game of soccer, just kind of running down the clock when the opportunities are there to do so. But like you said, doing it in a respectful manner.
Tiefel keeping the ball. Gets around the defender, but he'll win his squad a throw in there on the far sideline.
So David Suey over there.
Trying to find
cutting
Tiefel.
The ball back across. Oh, Tiefel again, just one of those plays where beautiful ball played across, just unable to get his body over, and it's going to be another one where it sails over the goal.
And that's a different approach there. In the first one, let the ball roll through near the 18. Tried for a low approach, driven ball with the left foot. Probably trying to find that left side of the goal. And then came back with the right foot. And like you said, just got under it. Didn't get his full frame over the ball, and that will usually most times sail over.
As we see a big ball attempted to play over the top, but Oliver Gardner there able to shield the ball very well, and Lenoir-Rhyne throw in over there on the deep, deep left sideline. Lenoir-Rhyne just connected a few passes in the back as they look to build from the back.
Good job there by LR. They've got to, in this one, continue to work down the back line. And we talked about it here and there in the first half, Jenna. It's okay to be comfortable, but it's not okay to be complacent. And if you're LR, you've got to continue fighting.
Right. There's definitely a difference. And when you're comfortable, your head's still in a swivel. You're still on your toes. You're still playing well. When you're complacent, you get too laid back. And that's when goals like what we saw from Queens in the first half occur. Things that just leave you dumbfounded and wondering where did that even come from.
Exactly.
Lenoir-Rhyne doing a better job of staying alert this half, as obviously we still see the score here at 5-1 with just under 36 minutes left to play.
If I'm Trent Barr, you got to be a little bit happier here in goal. I haven't just been swarmed from the onset here in the second half, and my team has really made it of importance, a sense of urgency to keep that ball away from the attacking third. Or defensive third, excuse me. Poza now running in space, lays it off, and a shot saved by Trent Barr. What a big-time save, and that's going to amp you up there if you're number one for the Royals.
Yeah, that was a great play just all around. As you saw, Noah Tiefel making a run in, so that's going to distract those Queens players and draw them left. And then G-Nizer just coming out of nowhere on that left-hand side. And just a beautiful slotted pass through. Unfortunately, Lenoir-Rhyne not able to finish with that great save that we just saw by Trent Barr, but it is going to be a Lenoir-Rhyne corner kick here.
Poza to take the service here for the Bears. Poza plays it in. A header there by Fernandez, a flick on, and just a no-nonsense clearance away there from the Royals.
Like Teeple is going to be the one to take that. Nope. So we see David Zui come in to take this throw in on the left sideline over here.
You see about 5 Bears warming up, or 6 Bears, warming up there on the sideline. Maybe perhaps to check in this match. Cascon plays it back. A header by Poza. No look. Said, why not? I scored my first one of the season here tonight. See if I can get lucky again and put goal number 2 on the season.
It's the right idea with a little flick redirection like that. Just wish he would have grazed it a bit more rather than actually getting as much on it as he did.
Chet Barr just trying to pick out his spot now. And this might be a good look here for the Royals. They can squeeze this one through.
Unless Benjamin G-Nizer is in the way and breaks it up and then sends the ball forward.
Poza, great effort there to get back towards the ball. Burton just circling, needs some help. Sawyer trying to put those fresh legs on, and see Zui trying to step across on the switch. That's a great ball out wide. You got space and time. And that will ricochet off Kish and be a throw-in with the Royals looking to attack. Good header there by G-Nizer, and another throw-in here for the Royals. That's Pash. Trying to split 2 defenders. And Benny G-Nizer is not having any of that.
Some clever footwork there, though, from Louis Goldsack to possess it for a little while there, as Queens, again, just desperately trying to build anything.
G-Nizer pointing in the direction where he wants his teammates to move. Cascal, smart. Don't have to push it forward necessarily. You can still keep it and play it amongst the back line. Now if I'm one, and yep, just
that's a beautiful switch.
Directly switch it, get it out of there. Don't take too long to think about where your next pass is going to be.
Oh, a little try for a little wall pass over there on the left-hand side. But Sawyer with just a little bit heavy of a touch.
Good pressure. Sawyer able to get back into the mix.
Should play Wasabi here, and again, see Gene Iser doing a great job getting touch line.
Delgado with room to turn upfield, and Cascon making a run. Delgado, a heavy touch. Would have loved to see him find Cascon a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that just got picked off pretty easily by Poplawski there. But Lenoir-Rhyne able to quickly win it back, and again, possessing well as Danny Fernandez looks to play big. Good on Fernandez to, when you look up like that, you think that the player is going to go big, so you see Queens drop off, and then he looks back down at the ball and just chooses to possess instead. And it's smart. You're up 4 goals. You don't need to play a big ball over the top. Keep possession. Keep the clock winding down instead.
And that's another thing that we can notice about the game of soccer. It's the subtle things that players do while they're dribbling with the ball. It could just be as simple as a head nod or a shrug of the shoulder just to catch a defender maybe slipping just a little bit. You see trying to do some combination passing there is LR. Cascal turning in space, lays it up ahead to Poza. Tretbar is there. Poza back across, and let me tell you what, that is almost an impossible angle. The only way you're making that is if you're playing the game of FIFA.
What with your little trick shots? XO, square, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the only way you're getting that back across. That's practically very parallel as Poza trying to squeak it across the frame of goal.
The nice thing about this for Lenoir-Rhyne is that when you do have a 4-goal lead like this, you can be creative and create little passes with your teammates that maybe in a normal game where it's a bit tighter, you wouldn't be able to. So, like the connection that Cascon and Jaime just tried to create there, it's fun. And it's, let's try this because we have a little bit of wiggle room where we're able to.
And these might be things that you've already done in, sets that you've done in practice that you're so used to that, you may not be able to break out, just in case of emergency. You see Tifo threatening, looking to push forward, and little nifty moves around defenders.
He's still carrying the ball.
Looking to turn, and I think he's just trying to possess here at this point. Maybe draw a corner kick.
And he's got 2 defenders playing him very, very close in that corner, and
to no avail, but a goal kick. But strong move there from Tifo.
Also, probably another 30 seconds that just got knocked off the clock.
Trying to put pressure. Poza backtracking. Royals now with some opportunity. Burton pushing upfield.
See, just like that, when he looked up big like that, he's going to play a big ball in. Unfortunately, number 14, Joe Lilly, just not able to take the best touch on that ball and collect it at the top of the box, because if he was able to get a better touch and then drop it onto your right foot, could have been a different outcome.
Cascon, a maestro. There's Poza. A beautiful ball to Cascon. Cascon lays it back across and hitting the side netting. But can we just talk about this Poza and Cascon connection, Jenna? I mean, you saw the touch there from Cascon laying it back, and Poza, the pretty stride for stride through ball.
Yeah, it's on tonight. And like you said, these are little set pieces or little passes that maybe they've done it in practice before, but when you can do it in a game setting against someone that's not your teammate, it's so much more rewarding. As we looks like we just had a sub.
I believe Jaime DeManuel will re-enter. I believe for Tifo. Poza plays it in. And headed out by Abby. And I believe it will be
I think it's going to be a throw in.
Yeah, just barely missing the end line.
See Benjamin Gene Iser jogging over to take this throw in.
Yeah, Joggy might be pushing it. Probably a little old man power walking his way to a throw in.
That's foul there. Looks like it's going to go. Actually, no, it's offsides. Going to be called on the near side over here. Going to go in Queen's direction. They're going to definitely need to back that one up. Try to push it forward about 10 yards there.
So under 27 minutes left to play here in this match. Your score is Still Lenoir-Rhyne 5, Queens Royals 1 here on Bear Sports Network in the SAC quarterfinal.
And I know you're down by 4 goals, so it seems like an impossible hill to climb. But it is possible, and I feel like Queens is not playing with as much urgency as I would like to see from them.
And a foul going against Lenoir-Rhyne. Queens with an opportunity here to threaten, possibly play a service here into the box.
Looks like Burton's going to be the one to take this set piece.
Yeah, he's been in charge of a lot of the set pieces here tonight, here for the Royals.
And again, Lenoir-Rhyne's just finding a line, sticking to it. So Queens has just got to make sure that they're timing their runs correctly.
Burton plays one in right near the 18.
And they did not time their runs correctly, and you're going to see an offsides call. So well on Lenoir-Rhyne to hold that line and make it just, again, extremely difficult for Queens here tonight.
She's 2 subs, maybe looking to check in the match. I think that's a 31, so that's probably Bryce O'Halloran there for the Bears and Lenoir-Rhyne. And then I want to say that's a 12, so it's probably going to be Colton Eliason for LR.
And that makes me, as a Bears fan, extremely happy. Like, this is the perfect opportunity, as I stated earlier, to get those players that don't normally see a lot of minutes some playing time. Because it's just, we're at the end of the season here, and this is when injuries could happen or whatever else could happen, so you want to make sure that your players on the bench are ready to come in if needed.
And plus, I mean, how often do you get to say that in the SAC quarterfinals, as a freshman, you got some big playing time? That's really impressive there for these players coming into this match. And then next year, when you're, I guess technically sophomores, you're a freshman again, so you're going to have that experience, that leg up over someone who's just coming in.
Yeah, the world of compliance that I normally live in is not going to be a fun one for the next couple of years, just trying to manage all these red shirt seasons, and you get a year, you get a year, you get a year. But it's a tremendous opportunity for these players that are freshmen and are getting the chance to get some valuable minutes and not be charged with the season.
And I believe that, yes, that is Colton Eliason and Bryce O'Halloran. Man, I got 20/20 vision, Jenna.
Yeah, that was impressive. I don't like to talk about 20/20 much, but I'll talk about it in that perspective.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to see that one, but lucky guess. Now the Royals trying to move the ball forward and see that sense of urgency that we saw in the early onset of the second half. And they got numbers forward here if they want to. They just got to move it around. And this is where, if you're fresh legs, you see Colton laying the press, Sam Sawyer almost getting that one. These freshmen are here to make a stand, and they're here to lay an impression here on the Royals. Good job by Delgado, ushering that one out of bounds. Goal kick, Lenoir-Rhyne.
So we're nearly at 23 minutes left to play in this half, and if you're just tuning in, it's a 5-1 lead for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. And this live broadcast presented to you by NBA Roofing, and it's just, I mean, we haven't seen a goal yet this half, but the first half was just action-packed.
Oh, it was electric, to say the least. I mean, to watch both these teams come in, and the sense of urgency early on there from Lenoir-Rhyne, and then the one answer there from the Royals. We're still waiting to see what the Royals can do, and they're looking to push here on the counterattack. Big switch laid on towards Mendonca. Just going to play it back to Basabi. Juan doing a really excellent job of distribution. Poza turning on the Jets and then smartly just coming back around. Flick on there by Eliason. So just working it across his back line. So Jen, is there a different thing that the Royals can maybe do with, not necessarily, of course you're going to want to put numbers forward, but in the midfield, is there any kind of, trap or like a zone look that they can kind of do to kind of create or force LR to kind of change their game here in this next 20 minutes?
I mean, what I would be doing if I was the Royals is, again, any ball that I get, it sounds terrible because it's not the pretty soccer that you want to see, but I would just be playing ball after ball over the top. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of that and just trying to get the ball into our own attacking third and just attempting to create some type of offensive, anything from Queens. This building from the back that they're doing right now, it's
not working.
It's not working, and it's not going to get any more goals for you on the scoreboard. You've got to look to go big and push numbers up.
And I think it's got to start here from the midfield. If you see some combination passes working, great stop there by O'Halloran.
It almost seems like Queens is just trying to get through the rest of the game. I'm surprised that the sense of urgency from them is just not there. And we see another shot by Lenoir-Rhyne. I think that was Jaime Poza that just tried to strike that one. And again, sailing over the goal. And again, Jack Winter, I think that you should do some shooting drills at your next practice.
So let's see some score updates for you. Women's soccer, Catawba and Wingate 1-1 in overtime currently. And then Queens is up 3-1 versus Tusculum. That was the final for the women's game. And then men's soccer, wow. So you see some action here in the fray. Bears turning on that high press on the Royals back line. Anderson knocking off Mars Hill 8-0. The final. Carson Newman 4-0 over LMU. Another big game. And then Wingate Limestone, I believe that is 7-1 as they're approaching the final minutes of that match. Just a lot of ridiculous score lines here in the SAC Conference, and that's just a testament to the high level of play from the SAC and their competitors and their schools here. I mean, it's a great soccer conference on both the men's and women's sides.
100%. And while Audie was going through those score updates, it's like our own little mini March Madness soccer scoreboard over here. Alexander Cake checked in the game. So again, we see Jack Winter reached into his bench and seeing what else he has and giving some players some valuable minutes in this game.
I'm excited to see Alex Cake check in. He's able to lay some really good distribution there from that kind of the outside mid wing role for the Bears, and he's able to also backtrack there for LR and play tight defense. So he's all kind of a Swiss Army knife for this Bears team. So he brings in fresh legs.
As we see Queens just again switching it through their back. But this is when I would love to see a player get their head up and play that big ball forward.
And thought about it there was Abby. And you see Pash by his lonesome here on this near sideline. He thought it was going to come here eventually, but that press there, I mean, Sawyer has been just absolutely relentless in his pursuit of the ball here on the pitch.
It just seems like what Queens is attempting to do right now is what I wish I would have seen them do in the first half. So they're connecting shorter passes, and that's what I would have loved to see from them when this game was still, 0-0, 1-0.
Pash gets a ball. He's into the box. Delgado wins it, coming right at the cameraman. Chris Rickenbach able to stay smooth and calm there with the angles.
Finally seeing Bryce get a few touches on the ball. As we have not seen this ball on this left-hand sideline this much, I feel like, the entire game.
Yeah, it's been a rare sight for this ball here, especially for the Royals to be on this near sideline. I think that's one of the biggest things that we kind of stressed and touched about. They need to open up the width of the pitch. It's got to be different. And I think this just working across the back line, like you said, isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see this midfield kind of get active and then look for a lob through or like an excellent run there from your forwards.
Yeah, Lenoir-Rhyne's just you got to give them all the credit this game. They've done an excellent job. You know, one of those players we mentioned, number 9, Felipe Mendonca. I mean, he's the leading goal scorer in the conference coming into this game, and I feel like he has been very quiet tonight.
Yeah, he's almost been absent here for the Royals team. And that's not his fault. That's just a testament to this back line of Lenoir-Rhyne. They've kept him in check.
Probably some smart coaching from Jack Winter, Josh, and Carlos, too, to do a little bit of their research and know which players that they needed to eliminate from this game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you take out a leading goal scorer like that, look at what it does.
It's a completely different match. And it's one of those things, too, for the Royals. If Mendonca is able to get one in, that he might turn it up to another level here in this last 15 minutes.
Sam Sawyer looking to play a little ball through. Would have loved to see a little bit more of an angle on that just from where that Queens defender was. It's a little bit too straight for me in my preference.
And that's the second time we've seen Gardner kind of get the first step there to the ball and lay it down with his head and keep it alive there for LR. Poof. Quick footwork there by DeManuel. Sawyer turning inside. And LR, like I said, you can just afford to play across, back and forth, connect some passes. Make the Royals outwork you here in this last 15 minutes for them to score.
I mean, with a lead like this, there's no need to score. You want to make sure you're playing smart because you want to make sure that you're not putting any players in a situation where then a Queens player is going to come in and make a rough tackle. So you just, with a lead like this, you have to play smart.
Good series of moves there from Cake. He's trying to stamp his name here in this game.
Yeah, a little scissor action over there. Ronaldo type moves.
I believe that is Brian Valadez checking into the match here for LR. Another newcomer here for this Bears squad, getting some minutes here in the last 14 minutes.
Yeah, Jack Winter's got to be pleased with his guys. They've played a tremendous match. You know, we just see Mark Murphy on the back line there. So, nearly an entirely different lineup for this Bears team.
See some more substitutions here for the Royals. That's Jesse Katei there for the Royals checking in. And he picks up a hard challenge as his first touch in. And that's not ideal as Sawyer checked down to the pitch.
Yeah, he just might have gotten the air completely knocked out of him.
Maybe a frustration foul or a hello, here I am kind of foul there from Katei.
Maybe a little bit of both.
I believe it's a second overtime there for Wingett and Cantata. They're still knotted up at one apiece hit there in the women's matches. And that's very important there for the women's soccer team here at LR. And now a strike by Delgado, and that will be won safely there by Tretbar. But heads up play there by Tretbar to get on top of that ball. You know, sometimes when you go to ground like that, sometimes those balls kind of sneak up under your ribs and they can find their way back into the net. And Eliason, just one man to beat, and there's 1v1 with the keeper but can't get around. I believe that was number 22, Dos Passos, able to step in the fray and make the challenge, Manuel. So, 12:30 remaining here in this match. Still a 5-1 match. Lenoir-Rhyne up over the Queens Royals. You see a nice switch over here to Pash.
Good touch right there.
Pash with space, but not for long as Eliason checking in. And Kish going to ground. And a corner kick here for the Royals. Now a chance, a set piece. You got to take advantage of it. This is a gift. You got to use it.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're down 4 goals, 12 minutes left. Even with a goal here, it's just, that's a tough battle to climb.
See Lewis Goldsack to take the corner a service here for the Royals. See a couple of the Royals stacked up near the 18, looking to make their run. Laced in, back post. A strong header flicked on, but I think just the wrong side of your face right there, not able to kind of redirect it back on frame.
I believe that was Darren Abbey that just went up for that header and, well won, but like you said, just wasn't able to connect with the totally part right of his side of his head and not able to redirect it the way that he wanted to go.
And Wasabi, 3/4 of the pitch, just lacing the ball up ahead.
I think that's one last sub that I would like to see made. If Coach Winter is up for it, is I'd love to see a goalkeeper change.
You see Corrigan and Cam Coleman there on the bench. Kind of give some confidence under their belts here, so to say. God forbid anything happened to Juan. There's got to be someone to step up here for the Lenoir-Rhyne and goal.
Right. Just this is a prime opportunity game for a player to get some key moments in a real game. It's one thing when you're at practice and you're playing that goalkeeper position. It's a totally different thing when you're actually in a real match.
And now the Royals are building up their attack. Now pushing upfield. It's a good chain of passing. This looks like a really promising chance here for the Royals. Good pressure by O'Halloran, able to win it. Now Sawyer up ahead. If I'm DeManuel, I'm bringing this all the way back to our near corner on the defensive third, if I can.
So it's going to be a Lenoir-Rhyne throw, and there's going to be another Lenoir-Rhyne substitution. Where's your 2020 vision, Audie? I need your help.
Trying to see who just checked in. I believe that's Irving.
Irving Hernandez over there on the left side.
Checking in. Salisbury, North Carolina product, Irving Hernandez. Now Valadez trying to perhaps leave his name here on this match here in the goal sheet, but to no avail. The back line of the Royals were able to stop that counterattack.
Another promising sight for Lenoir-Rhyne here is we've seen a number of substitutions this half. Like I said, completely different lineup nearly than what we've seen at the start, and this team is still playing well. Like, yes, there's been a little bit of a drop-off in play, but overall still, I would say, outpossessing this Queens team in a way. It's pretty 50-50, I guess we could say, but it's nice to be a Bear fan right now and see that although a lot of people have been pulled off the bench, the caliber of play is still pretty up there.
Yeah, this is where if you're a newcomer or a kind of a bench depth for Lenoir-Rhyne in the match right now on the pitch, this is where you show Coach Winter and Coach Alderson and Coach Rubio why you deserve to play. Next year's not certain. The same starting 11 may not be the same starting 11 next year or in the fall. So this is where you show that, hey, I can play in big minutes and I can hold my own.
We had senior night the other night. We had 3 seniors to honor here for the Lenoir-Rhyne men's squad, but not sure which of those players is coming back because of the COVID year that everybody got. Not sure who's staying, not sure who's leaving. So, yeah, like you said, you don't know what the next year's starting lineup is going to be. But something that we can definitely say about this year is it's been a fun year to watch Lenoir-Rhyne men's soccer.
Yeah, it's been a wild year, to say the least, with, COVID protocols and teams returning to play, weather, just a lot of things building up that, may have gone against LR or any school in the SAC conference this year. And it's just great to see these two teams playing out here on the pitch and giving it their all here in the SAC quarterfinal. Good pressure there by Kish. And why not? Just play it back to Wasabi, play it back to Juan, and he'll direct traffic. Murphy. He's got to realize he's got a man on, and that one will just squeak out of bounds there for a Royals throw-in here on the near sideline.
Good pressure there from Sirkish. Able to win it and find Sawyer in the middle of the field. Sawyer, even after that heavy touch, able to maintain possession. Now we see Cake collecting, and Cake, I'm not really sure where he's trying to go with that ball. Plays a poor pass back that Queens is able to jump onto, but Lenoir-Rhyne defense quickly breaks up anything that Queens was trying to build.
And great job there by 18, Sam Sawyer. He had to backtrack to help out Cake and make sure the Royals didn't get an opportunity to play one into the box. So a long throw-in maybe here for the Royals. Winding up, playing it across. Great job by Irving to get ahead on that and flick on away. Now Valdez looking to take a touch.
See Irving getting up there too.
Gets a push in the back, and that will win Lenoir-Rhyne a free kick here in a promising spot.
We are almost at 5 minutes left to play. If for some reason you're just tuning in, you missed a first half that was full of just a ton of action, a ton of goals, and the second half hasn't been as exciting, but it's also just a completely different style of play when you're entering a half with a 5-1 lead.
Now Colton Eliason will take the duties here of this free kick. It'll be his service. Let's see what he's doing, what options he has here in the box. Lays it across the penalty marker. Irving is there. And then Murphy trying his luck from the 18 and unlucky.
I'm just going to mention it again. It was another ball that sailed over the goal.
Just LR has not been able to, so to say, find their luck and their range here in this one from outside the box. Got under a lot of balls that have just sailed over the crossbar.
But when it comes to balls inside of the box, they've been doing a great job of slicing it around the keeper and just finding the back of the net.
They've been just very surgical here with their distribution inside the 18. And honestly, I'd take that any given day of the week. I'll take being able to place balls anywhere inside the 18, inside the goal. I mean, not all your deep shots are going to go in.
Deep shots are just more fun to watch. I don't know why, but it's just like one of those things. They seem 10 times more challenging. So, for example, the goal that we saw from Queens in the first half.
Pash.
I mean,
yeah,
so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, as a broadcaster, that's definitely top 5 for what you want to call as a great deep look in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But even better is just a chain of combination of passes inside the box, and you're just skillfully working your way in and finally placing it in.
Where Lenoir-Rhyne just dominated this evening was that ball over the top, that like speed that I didn't know that our forwards even have, just able to jet past the Queens defense, and again, like you said, just controlling the ball inside the box, getting around the keeper and finding the back of the net.
Now the Royals a chance to counterattack, but just a miscommunication there between the Royals and, like you're saying, the speed that maybe we haven't seen because they haven't brought it up to us, kind of thing. And Tiefel is sneaky fast here for the Bears. I mean, I would call him maybe more of a holding forward. As you see some extracurriculars here, the ref just trying to calm down.
Yeah, it looks like Sirkish again just trying to slow down the game a little bit. Kind of stood over the ball, and one of these Queens players just kind of wrapped his arms around him a little bit and flung him off the ball. But I would be a little bit agitated if I was Queens and the opposing team has a 5-1 lead and you're still going to stand over the ball too. But it's part of the game.
Now Lyson in space. Great hesitation there and a good chop of his feet, keeping the touch line. And that's a pretty ball. Valdez 1v1 with the keeper here. Fires and will be saved. But can we talk about Patch? The afterburners to lay a foot back on that and protect Tretbar in goal.
Yeah, that was great defense there, and vice versa. The Bears just having some clever runs in. I thought for a moment, again, with the angle we're at, that it looked like those players were offsides, but I guess that the player that received the ball was onside, and Lenoir-Rhyne's earned another goal kick here with under 2 minutes left to play. I'm sorry, a corner kick.
So a short corner there to Sawyer, working down the end line. Sawyer trying to lay a ball across. And Delgado here with the ball, surveying. Dispossessed, and now the Royals can run. And Mendonca trying to force the issue here for the Royals as we're approaching a minute left to play in this match. It's win or go home here for the Royals. And unless something miraculous happens here in this last minute, it looks like Lenoir-Rhyne will come out on top here in this one. So a little update for you is the Catawba women's soccer team won in overtime over Wingate. So that means Lenoir-Rhyne will travel to Catawba on the women's side and play on Thursday.
And then looks like our men will be hosting Anderson here Thursday evening. So both of our teams in action. Going to be another one where we're going to have our phones out while we're trying to commentate on the game because just trying to keep up with everything. And like I said, it's our own little March Madness right now with these women's these soccer scores.
Yeah, it's been crazy to say the least. The scoreboards and the scores around the SAC here today is Wasabi just sends one, airmails one deep. And that will pretty much do it here from Moretz Sports Complex as Lenoir-Rhyne Bears come out on top 5-1 here in the SAC quarterfinal over the Queens Royals. Jenna, this was an incredible match, but that first 17 minutes of action here from the Bears was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, Lenoir-Rhyne called game early,
yeah.
And sometimes it just goes that way, and they got a lead, they kept it, and we're going to see the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears men's team here in action on Thursday night.
And you love to see that afterwards. You know, some of these players may have played with some of these guys on the Queens team in high school or have known them over the years, and there's just all respect here from both teams, and great to see that sportsmanship out on the pitch. But once again, thanks for staying tuned here in this one today as the Lenoir-Rhyne men's soccer team comes out on top 5-1 over the Queens Royals in the SAC quarterfinal. I'm Ana Caliande, and on behalf of Jenna Beauregard, we wish you a great night here on the Bear Sports Network presented by MBA Roofing. Until next time, go Bears.